Guys, y'all, what's poppin'? Welcome to another video, and as you guys can see, we're going to continue the saga of Ricardo coming to the United States. Now, honestly, I completely forgot all about this story until I was literally planning a video on my Haitian channel regarding how to give an offering, more specifically a money offering to spirits, and then my mother basically brought this up. So before we even get into that, if you guys are currently watching me right now, you are watching my third channel, which is my personal / vlog channel. There are too many of you guys that literally see my face every single time on YouTube and you think you're watching the same channel and I went through some sort of name change. No, I have 4 separate channels, one of which that I haven't even started posting on yet, which I'm working on it. I'm aiming for April. Don't worry, okay? For those of you guys who want to be bosses or whatever, okay, the Media Hustle channel is going to be up very, very soon. For those of you guys who have already subscribed, thank you guys so very much. But yeah, I do have my main channel, which most of you guys know, which is my rants, reactions, and commentary, my Haitian channel, and then I have this channel, and then I just added the Media Hustle channel. So please make sure you are subscribed, and please go to the description box to be better acquainted with my other platforms. Also, please make sure you smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, smash every button to help a sister out, and most importantly, go stream my single. You're more than likely listening to the instrumental of it right now, and go follow me on Instagram because I post different types of content on there. I'm on a weight loss journey. I've been talking more about my mental health, and I also do dance content on there. So without further ado, let's get into it. So basically, last I left off, I talked about how Ricardo walked to the United States, okay? But honestly, we really need to talk about how Ricardo even got into the United States. So essentially, when Ricardo got to Nevada, literally walked to Nevada, Ricardo was locked up, okay? Akon style. They wouldn't let him out. And it was to the point where they was about to deport him. It was to the point where, like, my family was sitting here hoopling, hollering, and crying. And I remember at the time, I didn't really know too much about it because, like, I didn't really know who Ricardo was. And quite frankly, I didn't really want to. And that's because I'm just gonna say, like, when it comes to my mom's side of the family, a lot of them have burned me really bad. A lot of them have spent a lot of time bad mouthing me, talking shit about me, saying that I'm a bad influence, or just causing me a lot of trauma. So when I heard that there was someone that could potentially be coming into the house and they were related to my mother, I was like, oh God, he's in jail, well, keep him. And I mean, that sounds messed up, but like, now that we know what we know now, was I wrong? I mean, I will say, you know, I've been told I have a very good gift of discernment and I've never been wrong yet, okay? So I just personally was kind of disassociating from it because I didn't really know too much of what was going on until my mother really explained what was going on recently. And I was like, oh, now it all makes sense. So Ricardo was locked up and they were threatening to deport him. He was locked up for at least a year before he finally made it back to Jersey. He was actually supposed to stay at my cousin DMX's house. Now, of course, we're not talking about the rapper. DMX is an alias, okay? There'd be some people in my comment section when I talk about him and they're like, DMX the rapper? No, DMX is an alias. Call him DMX because he really sound like DMX. He really be literally talking like that. Like, it's really fucking annoying. Like, so we just call him DMX, okay? So essentially, DMX was supposed to be the one that took him in. He paid for whatever needed to be paid for. He's the one that's on his legal paperwork. And it's actually interesting that all the bullshit that this man did, and I'm going to get into that in later story times, that he never got arrested and never got caught up. Because it's like, bro, you're not supposed to be getting in any type of legal trouble or doing any fuck shit when you're like, you know, not a legal resident of any country, let alone on United States TPS. But hey, that man got angels. While my family is basically hoopling, hollering, and crying for Ricardo to be released from the feds and into the custody of family, they go and they ask a loi for help. So our Haitian loi are very specific, but there's certain deities, loi, and spiritual figures that you don't necessarily need to be initiated into voodoo or any spiritual practice in order to ask favors from, as long as you're respectful about it and you basically do what it is that you promised, right? So one of Ricardo's sisters went to a deity, right? and they specifically asked for Ricardo to be released from the feds and to be with family, okay? They asked for everything to be okay. I am lying about all of this. I am about to put all the spiritual business out there. Nonetheless, I'm going to be mixing up details for this specific part because A, y'all don't need to know the specific details. B, I'm going to protect this deity because this deity actually runs on my dad's side of the family, not my mom's side. And C, which I need to know the details for. The specifics don't really make the story. So I'm going to be talking about this more in depth on my Haitian channel regarding giving lois, deities, and spiritual figures money in order for them to do you a favor. So definitely go subscribe to my Haitian channel if you guys really want to see that. There are ways, and this is not just Haitian culture, to give a spirit something for them to do something for you in return. But in this case, I'm going to be talking about money. And you guys are probably like, well, how does that work? Do they take the money? Listen, all I know is you go to their highest altar, wherever it is. It's usually a specific place. You leave the money there and you have to do it or else bad things end up happening to you. Like, it's really, really bad. So basically, Ricardo's sister was very worried about Ricardo, and Ricardo's sister, behind all of the family's back, went to go ask this specific deity for a favor. Now, one thing about this deity, she don't play no games. Okay, she's a deity that if you ask her for a favor, you have to be specific, you have to be direct, and if you're offering her money, it gotta be that money, it gotta be in front of her altar at a specific location. And whenever you say you're gonna give it to her, you better give it to her or bad shit's gonna really start happening to you. Like, literally, you might just die. Like, and people have literally lost their lives trying to skimp this deity out of her money, or literally asking for a favor from this deity and not delivering on their promise, okay? So she goes, she asks, please help me, and she offers the deity $10,000. Now, you guys are probably like, where the fuck was she gonna get $10,000 from? Child, beats me, because last I checked, she couldn't even get $10 to get food last week. So I have no idea where she thought she was going to get $10,000 from. So what does she do? She basically tells Ricardo, hey, I went to this deity, okay? I went to the loi and I asked. Now, understand, deity is loi in Creole for the most part. She goes, hey, mon de loi, I asked this deity to do you this favor. If, not even if, when this deity delivers, because one thing about our loi, they deliver. Okay, our deities, our loi, our saints, they deliver. Ain't no if, they deliver. All right, if you offer them money specifically, they deliver. Especially the higher the amount, the higher the reward. You just got to make sure you get that fucking money. If this deity delivers, will you be able to get this $10,000 so I can pay back this loi? Ricardo says, yeah, just get me out of here. Because apparently, from what I heard, Ricardo's going through it in jail. Okay, American jail. I don't know if they was playing his booty hole or what. I don't know if he dropped the soap. I don't fucking know. I don't know the details. So he's like, yo, get me out of here. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Mete no cop sol. If you guys don't know what a sol is, it's kind of like a... I can't even explain it in English. It's kind of like a money pot where all the Haitians put money in and then eventually becomes your turn and you could take your money out. It's like a very big, illegitimate Haitian savings account thing where all the Haitians put their money in and eventually becomes your turn. If you want to buy a house or a car or need to do a really big purchase, it comes in handy because then you have all this money at your disposal, but then you always have to put it back, whatever. So basically he says, you know, I'm going to have all this money at my disposal eventually, you know, by this time I'm going to give it back. Just get me out of here. Eventually, Ricardo goes to school. He starts going to church. Remember, I told you guys, like, he was actually on a good leaf. You know, he actually started doing shit for bro. He starts actually getting his life together. And eventually, he starts working. People start calling him for the money back. Ricardo stops answering everybody's phone calls. His sisters, his brothers, his mother. And for me, when I heard that he stopped answering phone calls, I thought it was because they was asking for money for, like, you know, random shit. Like, oh, telephone crase, oh, my phone broke. Oh, I need this. I need sneakers. Like, I thought it was just like random shit. Come to find, he was avoiding their phone calls because they wanted to talk to him about giving this money back to the loi petit. So I'm listening to this bullshit, yo. My mother's telling me the story. I'm thinking in the back of my head, like, is this nigga fucking crazy? Because for him, he's like, well, I told her I was going to pay her back. But at the end of the day, she's the one that made the deal with the deity, not me. Yeah, it was for me, but she's the one that made the deal. So I'm in the clear, which in theory is actually true. But karma's a bitch, okay? Karma's karma. And you fucked your sister over. Your sister went and made a ditch effort to go and do something for you because she was worried about you getting played in the booty hole in jail, and you just fucked her over. So everybody's sitting here and they calling Ricardo, Ricardo not picking up the phone, and it gets to the point where everybody is super upset. Now they're calling my mom. Now at this point, my mom is still cool with Ricardo. They're still on speaking terms and not beefing like, you know, all these other stories that I've been telling you guys. So by the time I started making my stories about Ricardo, my mom and Ricardo were beefing hardcore. But when all of this was happening, this is around the time he kind of like first came to the United States. So my mom is trying to talk to Ricardo like, hey, they keep trying to like call you and they keep saying you're not picking up the phone. Like, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? They said they can't reach you. There's something wrong with your phone. Of course, he lies and he's saying,
oh, well, yeah, something's wrong with my phone. My phone not working.
Maybe they're not calling the right number. Like every single time my mom asked, it was a whole different excuse. So my mom's sitting here, she buying what he's selling, okay? And eventually I'm hearing the conversation and I'm just in there like, that nigga fucking lying. That nigga's always on his fucking phone. But eventually he got a new phone. And it's funny because he was with the crazy bitch, okay? Well, let me not say that to her. Given the circumstances, you know, he beat the shit out of her. He was with the mime, okay? We all remember the mime, you know, he beat the shit out of her. They got a divorce. So he was with the mime since literally he came to America. And the mime had did this thing where she like tapped his phone, and every single phone call, every single text message, every single WhatsApp, everything that came to his phone came to hers. So he went and he got a whole new phone. He got a whole new number. So out of nowhere, he got a whole new phone. And I'm just like, oh, you got a new phone? He was like, yeah, for more food, like my girl crazy or whatever. She tapped my phone, so I got a new phone. He couldn't escape it because the thing was still on his phone somehow. I need to understand how these Haitian women are doing this. This is not the first time I heard of a Haitian woman doing that, but that's neither here nor there. So apparently that's what he was trying to avoid. He said it was because of the girl, knowing he couldn't even escape it, but apparently he was trying to avoid the people from Haiti calling him. So shit ends up hitting the fan. The sister ends up having to come up with the money to pay the deity because all these horrible things end up happening to her. She ends up getting sick. The deity starts visiting her in her dreams, talk about she better get her money or she's about to take one of her kids. Like, it's really bad. Now, I know a lot of you guys are sitting here like, oh, well, see, this is why people shouldn't be playing with this voodoo shit, da 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 da. But what you need to understand when it comes to that type of stuff, you shouldn't be making promises you can't keep. Even God punishes you for promises that you can't keep. If you tell God today, hey, God, if you give me this house, I promise you I'm going to church every single Sunday. You don't think he's going to punish you if you don't go to church every single Sunday? You literally just lied to God. I guarantee you, you're going to have some leaks in that house. I guarantee you, that house, all of a sudden, you may not be able to pay the mortgage. Like, God punishes his children all the time, okay? Probably not as drastically as taking your firstborn and making you sick or whatever. But in general, whoever it is that you believe, whether it's Jehovah, Allah, God, whatever, whoever it is that you believe will punish you for making promises that you cannot keep, okay? Whether it's a deity, a Loa, an Orisha, okay? Whether you're a shaman, like whatever it is that you practice, you should never ever be making promises that you can't keep. And you should never go making promises or trying to save people on their behalf because shit like this happened. So whatever, that's neither here or there. I'll save that for the other video on my Haitian channel. It's absolutely nuts that Ricardo really sat here and fucked her over. Okay, so apparently a bunch of my family sat here and put in to this $10,000. Now again, the $10,000 is a fictional amount. Okay, I'm just telling y'all it was less. It was still a lot of money, but it was less than 10,000. But let's just think about the current state of Haiti and the fact that most people are either rich or poor. That side of the family definitely falls in the poor. So they had to come out with a huge lump sum of money or one of these kids was gonna die. All right, and it was really, really sad. And ever since then, they have not talked to Ricardo. And Ricardo literally to this day be like, oh, well, I don't talk to them because they're always asking for money. Sir, they're asking for money that you owe. Okay, because they had to save your ass. And now they have to save their own ass because they saved your ass. Okay, like you're literally an ungrateful piece of shit. It's actually genuinely like sad that he literally fucked them over like that. And he has no remorse for it. Like that particular sister literally has no dealings with Ricardo, to the point where she was like, literally, when our mom dies, I don't want a dime from him. I'll bury my mother myself. Like it's that bad. So, yeah. That began the saga of literally more than half of my mom's side not talking to Ricardo at all. And funny enough, my mom actually was still cool with Ricardo after that. And I was actually bewildered that my mom was still cool with him after that, because it's like, why would you even still associate with him like that? Like that's some snake ass shit. Like that's snake behavior. Like that, I wouldn't be able to fuck with somebody after that, because that's just crazy. Like he literally took a blessing. Well, he literally took a favor and didn't pay it back, bro. Like you don't do that. Like literally somebody could have died because of your antics. And one thing about that specific deity, like they gonna take your shit swift. Okay, they gonna take your shit. Like it's not even like, it's like night and day. So I'm shocked they even gave her any bit of time to do that. So with that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. What would you have done to Ricardo to get that money back? Because to be honest, like, yeah, okay. And I know you guys probably have questions like, okay, well, why didn't the spirit just go after Ricardo? Technically, the spirit didn't make a deal with Ricardo. The spirit made a deal with Ricardo's sister, so can't go after Ricardo. So there's that. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that. Check out my single, peep the description box for everything you guys consistently ask me about down below. And I'm gonna see y'all next time.